I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Now, to tell you the truth, I forgot myself in all this excitement. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
That clip was from Dirty Harry. For those who aren't familiar, Dirty Harry came out during a period of great social unrest, when culture was rapidly changing and crime seemed to be running rampant. This phase of American society lasted through the 70s and 80s, and the film reflected it. There was a certain type of hero who got the spotlight during this time period, the anti-hero, a character who lived by his own social code, while at the same time doing what was necessary for justice to be served. Like pretty much any other period of art, it was a reflection of its time. I'm old enough to remember when it was still cool to be a masculine, rebellious outsider who didn't follow the rules. I remember being young and thinking characters like that were pretty cool and fun to watch. In some ways, I wanted to be like them. Now, in adult life, I feel a lot like John Spartan in particular.
Muscle-bound grotesque.
Thanks a lot, you shit.
You are fine. John Spartan, you are fine. For repeated violations of the verbal morality statute.
So much for the seashells. See you in a few minutes.
Everyone loves a good anti-hero, whether it's Wolverine, Dirty Harry, or probably the most popular of them all, the Punisher. As one of the right-wing first responders that today's Marvel creators seem to hate, I certainly have been known to enjoy the Punisher franchise. And while I don't think that using the Punisher's logo conveys the image we want, I do understand the appeal of relating to a tough guy who gets the job done. For those who are not in the know about what Marvel has done to the Punisher, let's recap. Basically, Marvel decided to emasculate Frank Castle by having him sell his soul to resurrect his dead wife, only to have her turn completely against him. All this after internet backlash due to the Punisher being a symbol that cops, military, and generally Second Amendment supporters everywhere supported by putting his symbol on everything. All this after they took Frank's guns away and made him a ninja. When sales inevitably dropped as a result of rejecting their fan base, Marvel essentially decided to kill off Frank Castle. As I have said before, comics reflect culture, and what these Marvel creators have done reflects what they think of the Punisher's fans. They're right-wing, thorns in their side, who need to be written out of the story. Think I'm overreacting about the culture? Let's take a look at a real-life profession people look up to, firefighters, and see how writers have treated them. I'll start with Tommy Gavin, the protagonist from Rescue Me, which first aired in 2004.
Now, what did we learn from that? Any thoughts? Yes.
Only white people can be racist?
That wasn't the point of the video.
Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, where were the black guys calling white people crackers? Huh? Where were the Mexicans shitting all over the Puerto Ricans? You know? Where were the Chinese people making fun of the Japs who hate the Koreans, who hate people,
Okay,
blah,
now,
blah, blah.
hold on.
No, this is bullshit. You know what? The only reason we're here is because somebody in our crew called somebody else a name.
It was twat, by the way. Just so we're clear.
It's just to cover the FDNY's ass. That's all this is good for, you know? Just in case some Puerto Rican woman or some fat Chinese guy files a lawsuit against the FDNY, or God help us, there's another disgruntled female firefighter who thinks she has a case. The FDNY can say, no, they can't be prejudiced. They took this horseshit sensitivity training. Let me tell you something. Next time I run into a burning building and refuse to bring out anybody who's not the same color as me, that's when you can bring my angry, sober, pink Irish ass back down here. Got it? Going outside for a smoke.
Now let's look at 911 Lone Star, which aired in 2020.
Who'd you call this time, you crazy lady?
Oh, you better call the police. That man is unstable.
I'm unstable? You're unstable.
Whoa, I think we have a misunderstanding.
No, I don't misunderstand anything. She may look like a sweet old lady, but she's an evil racist.
Who you calling old?
Really? That's the part that upset you?
I am not a racist. My gardener is Spanish.
She called the cops on us last week on my daughter's 10th birthday.
They were waving around a bat.
At a piñata, you twisted vieja.
Yes, I called the police, and I'm gonna keep calling until somebody does something.
You know what? You don't have to call the police anymore, because I'm making a citizen's arrest.
Oh, good.
Put your hands behind your back.
What? Me?
TK, get the cuffs.
We don't have any cuffs, Cap.
Oh, I'm sure we could find some zip ties.
No, that'll work just fine.
Proby, on it.
Wait, now hold on. I'm an American citizen.
Which is why you should know that making a nuisance 911 call is against the law. Paul, call APD, tell them we're on our way down.
Yup.
Ma'am?
Uh-oh.
Ma'am.
My heart.
Ma'am, are you all right? Cap, we
Dear
can't take her to
Jesus.
jail. She's having a heart attack.
I know. Marjan, take her BP.
On it, Cap.
Maybe give her some mouth-to-mouth.
No, not her.
So maybe you're not having a heart attack?
I am. I definitely am. Can't you do it?
Not certified.
Oh, how about him?
Sure, ma'am, but just so you know, I am a homosexual.
Oh.
No.
He can do it. I told you I am not a racist. Oh. You're not a homosexual, are you?
Oh, no, ma'am. But I am trans, though.
Take me to jail.
See my point? The first example is a character who couldn't care less about any demographics whatsoever. He was willing to risk his life and die for anybody, regardless of any of it. Tommy Gavin is a rebel who breaks all the rules, yet does the right thing. The second is a drone for diversity quotas. Someone who lives to follow the rules and make sure everyone else does the same. Tommy Gavin was the model firefighter 20 years ago. Now, the rule followers are the model. Why is that? Well, let's have a look at what the predictions of the past were like so that we may gain some context of where society is headed. Providing that context will be Edgar Friendly from Demolition Man, who was played by Dennis Leary, the same actor who played Tommy Gavin.
I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Demolition Man is loosely based on the novel Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, a dystopian fiction that predicted a totalitarian government that forced people to comply through psychological manipulation. Just like real totalitarian societies of past and present, Huxley predicted a future where traditional values were shunned, especially those of the anti-hero archetype. This is for obvious reasons. People like the Punisher, Dirty Harry, and Wolverine are simply impossible to control. So, like all so-called problematic characters, they need to be written out of the story. How do you write them out of the story? You make their traits undesirable by painting them as toxic and replacing the undesirable characters with desirable characters. Who are the desirable characters? People who are easy to control. People who follow the rules. Due to the fact that there is nothing new under the sun, this is a story we have seen before with the cowboy archetype. The cowboy archetype, like the anti-hero, lives by their own rules. Both often occupy places that are untamed, wild, and uncivilized. Both often do what they have to in order to get something done, even when it means getting messy. The cowboy ultimately tamed the Wild West. Then society no longer needed him and forgot who he was. However, the anti-hero archetype both predates and succeeds the cowboy. And in times when a cowboy is still needed, the anti-hero is there to buck convention and get things done. Where can you find the anti-hero now? Not in the mainstream. The future is indie. If you want to know more about how to support indie creators, head over to websites like fundmycomic.com and check out this channel for Creativity Cookout, my Sunday live stream where I host independent creators. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.